This is Jessie Woodbury, Anatomy Assignment 1. Scratching the surface. Functions of the skeletal system. The production of red and white blood cells. Red and white blood cells and platelets are produced in the bone marrow. This protects against disease. Muscle attachment. This is when skeletal muscles are attached to bones on each end by tendons. For example, a ball and socket joint attaches your shoulder and arm. The shape of our bodies. Our skeletal system gives the shape to our bodies. For example, if you're short or tall. The storage of minerals is stored inside our bones. Protection of vital organs. It gives the action of protecting or being protected. For example, the ribs protect important organs such as the heart. The main function of the axial skeleton. This protects organs, for example, the skull or the vertebrae. The sternum and the ribs give support. The main function of the appendicular skeleton is for moving limbs because the muscles pull on our bones. Types of bones. Long bones. These are cylindrical in shape. These are normally found in our limbs. They're longer than they are wide. For example, the femur and the humerus. And these are the main levers of movement. Short bones are small and compact, often cube-shaped, found in the wrist and the ankle. These are as long as they are wide. These provide support, stability, movement and strength, and for example, carpals and metatarsals. Flat bones are often thin, slightly curved and flat. They have two layers of compact bone. They are flat plates which provide us with protection, for example, the scapula, sternum and cranium. Irregular bones tend to be very unique bones, difficult to classify because they are so unique. For example, the vertebrae, sacrum and mandible, these provide us with protection. And the sesamoid bones have a very specialised role. These are covered in articular cartilage and developed within tendons. These vary in size. The example of this would be the patella. Types of joints. Fixed joints are places where two bones come together in the body but are unable to move. An example is the cranium, as this bone doesn't move. Semi-movable joints are joints that have limited range of movement. This is due to tissue or cartilage. For example, the vertebral column, because this can move, but it's very restricted to movement. Freely movable joints are two or more bones met and allow movement. For example, your metacarpals can freely move and aren't restricted to what movement they can carry out. Synovial joints. The pivot joint is also known as the rotary joint. It's a ring of bone and ligament. The axis of a convex articular surface is in line with longitudinal axes of the bone. For example, in the neck when the neck moves. The range of movement on a pivot joint is only on one axis. This can give us pronation and supination. Ball and socket joint is a structure, how it sounds, a ball and a socket. Limits movement of body, and if shoulder is broken, it reduces our full body movement. This moves on all axes: flexion, extension, adduction, abduction, pronation and supination. Gliding joint, also known as the plane joint, is formed between bones that meet at flat or nearly flat surfaces. This gives us up, down, left, right and diagonal movements. Condyloid joint is an ovoid articular surface. This allows movement in two places. The range of movement is flexion, extension, adduction, abduction and circumduction. The saddle joint is shaped joint articular surfaces that are convex in one direction and concave in another. This moves in all directions except axial rotation. And finally, the hinge joint is simple. Head of bone wraps around the head of the other bone, for example, the elbow joint. This moves on only one axis and allows flexion and extension.